Hello everyone, my name is Serena Richardson and I am the online course coordinator for the Refugee Sponsorship Training Program, and I will be hosting today's orientation webinar. Today we're going to take a look at who the RSTP is, the course outline and format, course components and important dates, as well as how to navigate the course platform, and then we'll take some questions. So about the Refugee Sponsorship Training Program. It is a national program, and the exception is the province of Quebec. We do not provide training for the province of Quebec, which has its own immigration system and a different refugee sponsorship program. We are a program designed to support the sponsorship agreement holders, commonly known by the acronym SAWS of Canada, their constituent groups and co-sponsors, as well as groups of 5 and community sponsors. We are funded by Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, also known as IRCC, and trainers are employed by Catholic Cross-Cultural Services. We do have many trainers which are based in the province of Ontario, so primarily within the Toronto area, as well as Ottawa. We also have other trainers which are located in the other provinces. So in British Columbia, that would be in Vancouver. In Alberta, we have a trainer in Calgary, as well as a trainer in Edmonton. We have a trainer in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Winnipeg, Manitoba, Halifax, Nova Scotia, and also Fredericton, New Brunswick. And you are invited to contact your local trainer. So what do we do at the Refugee Sponsorship Training Program? Well, the RSTP provides information, training, and resources for all aspects of the private sponsorship process to sponsors and the general public who are interested in the PSR program. We provide updates and share information sent by IRCC, and we also organize the annual Sponsorship Agreement Holders Conference. And we offer a variety of other services such as the e-training that you are participating in right now. And we offer webinars, and so every single month we have a webinar series that we present of 6 webinars. And that monthly webinar series renews every single month. So if you haven't participated in those, you'll find those very helpful. We also host workshops. Now, typically the workshops are held in person, but of course, due to our COVID-19 restrictions, we have not been able to host very many in-person workshops. It really depends on whether there is a restriction in place within the province that you're located in for groups to meet indoors. And so while those restrictions are in place, of course, we can't host any in-person workshops, but hopefully we'll be able to resume very soon. We also have a monthly newsletter that we send out, and those newsletters are attached to emails that we send out to a listserv email distribution list. And so if you want to subscribe to our email listserv, feel free to do so. You can do that on our website, and you'll receive regular updates that we provide from IRCC and information about our upcoming training. We also have many resources located on our website. The website is rstp.ca, and there you'll find lots of information about private sponsorship. And here is one service that we provide as local trainers to the people within our region. If you are almost ready to submit your application to IRCC and you are a group of 5 or community sponsor group, you can contact your local trainer and they will be happy to take a look and make sure that you have all of the forms that are required to be submitted and see if you had missed anything like for example, if there was a signature missing on your documents. Now, we can't help with filling out the forms. Filling out the forms does have to be done by the sponsorship groups, but when you have everything gathered together and you have completed all of the forms to the best of your ability, then you can contact your local trainer and they will take a quick look to make sure that everything is complete. Okay, so for our course outline and format, we do have a total of 8 modules, and I'm going to discuss the first 4 right now, and then in the next slide I'll discuss the next 4. Module 1 is the global overview of forced migration. And so in the first week of the course, we provide a background on global migration and refugee issues. And this module takes a look at causes and effects of migration with a focus on the various forms of forced migration. And this unit will also highlight the refugee status determination, which is based on internationally recognized legal definition of a refugee, as well as the durable solutions available to refugees. In week 2, we'll take a look at module 2. And the second module provides an overview of Canada's immigration programs and the Canadian response to forced migration through the resettlement of refugees from overseas. In week 3, module 3 will focus on which persons may be privately sponsored, how refugees are classified, and we'll also examine the 2 key factors that persons overseas must meet to qualify for refugee resettlement to Canada. In week 4, we take a look at the private sponsorship process, the overview. And we introduce the process of sponsoring a refugee to come to Canada. It will look at reasons for sponsoring refugees, who can be a sponsor, and how to form a sponsoring group. We will then move on to an overview of the sponsorship process from submitting an application in Canada and the overseas application process to the arrival of the refugee. This module will conclude with a look at the benefits of getting involved with private sponsorship. And within each week, excluding the very first week, we will have a weekly video chat session every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, of course, excluding this week. They will begin next week, and we will take an opportunity, it'll be an hour each Monday, where you can meet the other students. We will have a discussion about the key concepts for each module, and you can ask questions about anything that isn't very clear for you from the reading material that you had done in the previous week. So each Monday, we're going to review the previous week's module. Yeah, I just wanted to let you know, students who had participated in the weekly discussions from the previous course, they found it very valuable and beneficial to their learning. Oftentimes when you meet in groups, in a group setting, and you have a chance to hear from other students, you learn additional things that you didn't know. And so that's the purpose of these weekly video chat sessions. Of course, they are not mandatory. It's completely voluntary. So if you cannot attend, not to worry. It is not a requirement of the course. However, the presentation portion of our weekly video chat sessions will be recorded and the slides will be posted in the following week. We will also have a webinar to discuss and review the quizzes from modules 1 through 4. And so once the quizzes have been completed by the end of week 4, in week 5 on the Wednesday, we will have a webinar for you to go over those quiz questions and find the answers or explanations for why you may have gotten a quiz question incorrect. Oh, I suppose one more thing I should mention about modules 1 through 4. You do have a due date when you have to complete all of the reading material and the quizzes for modules 1 through 4. And that date is actually displayed for you in the course schedule a little bit later in this presentation. And taking a look at module 5, the application process. This module will focus on details of the sponsorship application, including the forms that sponsor-referred refugees must complete, and the forms required for each type of sponsoring group, as well as the required documentation to be submitted with the application forms. In week 6, module 6, we will detail how to develop a settlement plan using the factors groups must take into consideration when outlining how they will support their sponsored refugees after arrival in Canada. The settlement plan is not only an essential requirement of the application process, but an important tool that will help a sponsorship group understand the unique needs of each of the family members, the amount of funds to be provided, and who will be assigned to meet the various responsibilities involved in helping the newcomers settle in Canada. Module 7 oversees processing and preparing for arrival. So while the previous modules describe the overall sponsorship process, this module will explain the overseas processing notifications, interview process, privacy considerations, preparation for the arrival of the newcomers, as well as highlighting some of the issues that may arise during the settlement process. And finally, in week 8, the final module will focus on post-arrival settlement supports, including the support of refugees with special needs under the Joint Assistance Sponsorship Program, working with settlement agencies, how best to work with interpreters, and transitioning to post-sponsorship period, and evaluating the sponsorship experience. So following the final 4 modules, we will have a webinar once again to discuss and review the quizzes from modules 5 through 8. And so if you had any questions that were incorrect from your quizzes and you want to find out the reasons why you may have erred for those answers, we will review the quizzes for modules 5 through 8 in that webinar that follows module 8. Then there will be a week designated for the time when you can complete your final exam. And then once all students have completed the final exam, we will host a webinar to review the final exam as well. Okay, the course components. Each module contains weekly reading material, and within the weekly reading material, you will see some videos and there will be some activities to participate in. There will also be weekly video chat sessions, as I discussed, and there will be a discussion forum question posted every single week. So the discussion forum questions are completely voluntary. However, if you were to participate by posting a response that adds to the discussion, then we will be able to give you a 0.25 points per weekly participation. So for a total of 2 bonus marks added on to your final course grade for that participation. We also have a weekly quiz. So in total, there are 8 quizzes, 1 for each week. And each of those quizzes are 15 multiple choice questions. And so 50% of your overall course grade will be taken from the total of those 8 quizzes. The final exam is cumulative, and it has a combination of multiple choice and true or false questions. And it is worth 50% of your overall mark as well. So to get your final course grade, we take 50% of your quizzes and 50% of your final exam grade. We combine them together to get your final course grade. So let's take a look at some of those important dates you'll want to pay attention to.
June 12th.
This is the date that you will need to have all of modules 1 through 4, as well as their quizzes, submitted and completed. Any students who do not complete all of modules 1 through 4 and the quizzes by the end of the day on
June 12th.
Those students will automatically be restricted from advancing to the second half of the course.
July 10th.
This is the date that you want to have all quizzes and the modules reading material completed by for modules 5 through 8. And this must be completed again by 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're not in the Eastern Standard Time zone, you're in a different time zone, you want to be sure to make the difference, the time difference, in order to make sure you're submitting that material on time.
And July 17th.
This is the last day that the final exam is due. And so again, that final exam you have until 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to submit your final exam. So a passing grade for the course is 60%, but of course you do need to have a 60% initially on your final exam. And then when you have your combined final exam and the quizzes combined together, a passing grade to receive the certificate is 60%. And so just a few words about the course. It is a self-study, self-paced course. And so you can do the reading materials and attempt the quiz as soon as they become posted each week. And let's say you aren't able to start week 1 during the week that it is posted. And it isn't until week 2 that you can begin the course. That's okay. You have until
June 12th
to submit the quizzes for modules 1 through 4 and to complete all of the reading material for modules 1 through 4. And so as long as you complete those first 4 modules by
June 12th,
that's no problem at all. Now, one student had asked, is it possible to finish the first module and get access to the second module right away? No, that won't be possible. Each of the week's modules will be released on a weekly basis. They'll be released Monday early in the morning at 12 midnight. Okay, let's take a look at accessing and navigating the course platform. So I want to be sure that you are going to the correct website address or the URL. So you want to be sure to type in your web browser etraining.rstp.ca. Some students have made the mistake of only going to the rstp.ca website and trying to log in. You have to make sure that you have etraining.rstp.ca to access the correct page. So let's go there now. So this is what it will look like when you first access the website. Once you've logged in correctly, your name is going to be in the top right corner. And you will see this welcome. This is the eTraining platform for the Refugee Sponsorship Training Program. So to begin with, if you want to make edits to your profile, just click on your name and select Profile. Once the profile page has opened, you will see you have an opportunity to insert a picture, if you like, of yourself. And if you click here, you can see the courses that you're enrolled in, and you have an opportunity to edit your profile information. Now, this is important for you as students. You need to understand that the name you insert here under your profile is what it's going to look like on your course certificate. So if you had put your first name in all lowercase letters, that is what it's going to look like on your course certificate when you finish. If you used a nickname, not your legal name, let's say for example Sal was used, and you wanted your legal name to be included on your course certificate and not your nickname, then you want to make sure that you use your actual legal name. And you'll want to be sure that you hit submit if you make any changes. So make sure you scroll down once you've made changes and click on submit. Okay, and you'll know if you had saved your details successfully. Okay, so heading back to the main landing page when you first log in, this is what you'll see. Now you can simply scroll down to the available courses and you could select the introductory level course right from here if you want to, and that will take you to the course. Or you can scroll through the menu item here, select courses, my courses, and the first time you open up from this location, there'll be a big button here that says start. And every time after the first time you've accessed the course, it will say resume. So we can select resume from here. So this is what the course dashboard page looks like, the main dashboard. You'll know that you're at the right spot because it says welcome course participants. And so a few features I want to show you on this course dashboard. So on the top right here, it's a little bit in gray. It might be hard for you to see, but it will show you your overall progress for this course. And so every time you complete module readings or a quiz, this progress should increase for you. And by the end of the course, if you've completed all the required activities, this should show as 100% completed. So when you first open in the course, you want to go directly to the tile that says start here. And you can do that either by clicking on this tile, or you can go to the left-hand menu system and click start here. So let's go ahead and open up the start here tile. And within here, you're going to notice that we want you to view. So actually click on this link and look at the course syllabus. Once you have done so, you're going to see a green check mark here, and it will tell you that you have completed that step. We also want you to take a look at the course schedule. And again, if you have completed that, it will show as done, that you have viewed that particular activity, and you'll see the green check mark here. If you see no green check mark and there's a grayed out check mark, that means you haven't completed the activity and you'll still need to do it. So you'll want to click on the course syllabus to read it. And of course, today's course orientation was posted here, and you would have clicked on this link here to join the orientation session, the Zoom session. But for those who weren't able to participate today, we're going to post the course orientation video right here for you, so you'll still be able to see it. Okay, so once you're done the first tile, let's take a look at the online forums. So there are two ways you can interact with your classmates, and that will be through an online discussion question. We'll post online discussion questions every single week, and you can access the discussion forum here through this week. And I want you to do that right away. If you haven't accessed the discussion forum, we have a welcome message for you. It says, welcome, please introduce yourself here. And I would like you to read my introduction welcome message and then simply click on reply and post your message, letting us know the province you're located in, your experience with private sponsorship, if you have any, and the reasons why you are taking this course. So that is our weekly discussion forum. So at the beginning of every week, I think it's on Tuesdays, you will see a new discussion question posted. So the first discussion question will become available tomorrow on Tuesday. So check back there for the discussion questions. Now, one thing I wanted to let you know, it is completely voluntary to participate. However, If you do participate, you will be awarded bonus marks for each week that you post meaningful engagement with the discussion questions. Okay, so if you want to proceed to the next section, you can click in various ways. You can click in this breadcrumb menu, they call this, by clicking on Home or this Introduction to Private Sponsorship of Refugees course. So let's do that now. Okay, and that takes me back to this main tile section. And so the next section here of the online forums, you'll see the access to the weekly video chat session. Now, these will begin next Monday, the 31st of January. So we're not going to have a weekly Zoom video chat session today because you haven't had any modules to read and go through yet. So basically, every time we have a Zoom video chat session, it's going to be related to the previous week's modules, what you have previously read. And if you have any questions related to that particular module or anything else related to the Introduction of Private Sponsorship of Refugees course, we can answer your questions there. And we will also have some fun activities for you to do. So I do want to highly encourage you to participate if you are able to. These will be held at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so if you are not in the Eastern Standard Time zone, you want to be sure to check for your time zone to make sure you're joining at the correct time. Okay, as I mentioned, there's also a menu system on the side here. So once you complete your quizzes, you should be able to see your grades posted here. Now, of course, if there aren't any quizzes that have been submitted, you won't see any grades yet. So let's take a look at Module 1. You should have all of the reading material access available to you. So within each module, you'll see the time frame that that module is released for. And you can go back into this module right through till the end of the course. It just tells you that this is the week that it was released to you. And each module tells you the title and then the average time you can expect to spend on this module. So most students for Module 1 take about 1 to 2 hours to complete the reading materials. And then there's a brief description about the module. And these are the objectives that you can expect to know at the end of reading this module. So below the objectives, you have the title of the readings and there's a link. So you would click on the link to open up the reading materials. The reading materials will contain videos and some activities as well. If you have a slow internet connection, it might take a minute for the video to show up, so just be a little bit patient. And on each module reading material, you're going to have a table of contents on the right-hand side, and you're going to have to scroll down to read all of the chapter information. And you'll know you have completed when you see at the bottom right a blue arrow. So you can use that blue arrow to go to the next chapter, or you can click on the next chapter by clicking the link in the table of contents. To ensure that you are spending enough time on the reading material, you want to make sure that you are clicking through each chapter and scrolling down each page and doing the activities that might be available. So let's go back to the main section of Module 1. So after you've finished the reading material, you're going to notice that here where it says to do view is going to change to completed or done. And if it's done, this grayed out check mark is going to turn green. So if you don't see the green check mark next to the reading material, you know you haven't selected and completed reading all of the chapters for that module. Down here below the reading material, you're going to see module discussion question. This will become an active link. If you click on it, it will take you directly to the discussion question for this module. We also have additional resources for you. So if you click on the additional resources link, you can see there are a bunch of hyperlinks here, or you have the option to download a PDF version of these additional resources. You're not required to read through these additional resources. They've just been provided for you as additional material you may want to take a look at a later date. Next, you have the quiz for Module 1. You'll be required to view the quiz and to receive a grade for the quiz. So once you've submitted your quiz and you've received your grade, then this green check mark will show up automatically.
The video chat sessions for your course will actually begin on Tuesday next week, and that's because of the holiday Monday.
Let's take a look at Module 2. The same structures here. You've got the title of the module, the date that it was released, and the average time commitment to complete the reading material, as well as your objectives here. Here is the reading material, Canada's Immigration Programs. This will become available on the
23rd of May.
So next Monday. Same as the resources, the quiz, and the video chat session. All of those will become available to you on the
23rd of May.
The discussion question will become available on the Tuesday. Okay, and so for the video chat sessions, I just wanted to point out, check the correct time for you to join for your time zone. So the video chat sessions, as I mentioned, are held at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But if you're located in Vancouver, you're going to want to join at 3 p.m. Pacific Time. If you're located in Alberta, you'll want to join at Mountain Time, I believe, 4 p.m. If you're located in Manitoba, I believe it would be 5 p.m. Central Time. And then those who are located in Atlantic Canada, 7 p.m. would be the time you would join. And those who are in Newfoundland and Labrador, you would join at 7:30 p.m. So that's a quick reference for you within each module, the time that you would want to join for the video chat sessions. Again, they're voluntary. It's not a requirement to participate, but it is certainly going to be very valuable if you can participate. Now, we will be reviewing the previous week's module, some of the key items that you'll want to pay attention to and remember. And that portion of the weekly video discussion will be recorded, and I will be posting the slides at the end of each week. Okay, so then you have the rest of the modules. The format is going to be the same. I'm just going to jump in and take a look at the final exam for you. We want to make sure everybody has completed Module 8 before the final exam will be released. And you will have any time during that week
from the 11th to the 17th of July
to complete and submit your final exam. Now, be aware you have a 2-hour time limit to complete the final exam. So when you start the final exam, you need to make sure that you don't stop, because the exam will be automatically submitted after 2 hours time limit. Again, the passing grade for the final exam is 60%. And there are 50 multiple choice or true or false questions. And we use case scenarios for you to think about some of the questions that we're asking based on case scenarios. And then following the final exam on Wednesday,
July 20th,
we will review the final exam with you. You can ask any lingering questions you might have about the course. And just as a note, that particular webinar and the review of any of the other quizzes webinars, they will not be recorded. Okay, upon successful completion of the final exam and all of the quizzes and reading material, then you will have access to your course certificate. So you would click here on course certificate. In order to be able to see this auto-generated certificate, you would have had to have logged a minimum of 14 hours for total course completion. So basically what that means is when you're going through the reading materials, you would have had to have spent at least 1 to 2 hours a week going through the reading materials. That's pretty conservative. Like, it may take you longer, and that's fine. But as a minimum, we're looking to see that you have spent at least 14 hours with the course reading materials. And for those students who have successfully met these requirements, you will have access to download your certificate. So that's it. If you had a question and you want to contact me, when you are online, you can leave a message on the web platform and that will send an email to me. Or if you're offline, you can send me an email through your Outlook or your Gmail account or whatever email account you use. Email etraining@rstp.ca. And I respond to your questions typically Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. through 5 p.m. And I just wanted to mention that the quickest way to get an answer from me is to send an email. I do receive phone calls and I have a voicemail. However, I don't check voicemail as frequently as I do email. Email, I have a priority to respond within the same day or the next day. Phone calls, I typically respond to within the week. Okay, and that's it. Thanks so much for joining us, everybody.